Let me show you the most interesting, most expensive and most rare Xboxes in my collection. This is the first time when almost all of my collection is in one places. My dream was to have on my collection one special Xbox. There was totally 10 people involved to this project. Creating Xbox prototype by one block aluminum was cost around 7,000 euro in Poland. Hello, my name is Filip and I am the owner of the xboxmuseum.pl, the initiative to archive the knowledge and the history of the games, especially on the Xbox and the Xbox consoles. To be honest, Xbox wasn't my first console at all, because I started playing as most people in Poland on PC at the beginning of the 90s. Then I switched to the PlayStation, like almost everyone. You know, the gray one, the PlayStation 1 with the Tekken and so on. So in 2008, I bought my first Xbox, Xbox 360, and it was exactly this piece of electronic. And you need to remember that in that time, Microsoft designed two versions of the same console. First one was the premium edition, this one, with the hard drive and with the Chrome on the disc tray. And the second one, which was a little bit cheaper, without hard drive, what was removable from the console, and with the white disc tray. And the second thing was fact that premium edition was delivered with Xbox Live 1 month, because a lot of people didn't remember that we had two Xbox Live. One was Xbox Live Gold, and the second one was Xbox Live Silver for the cheaper, for non-active users. So yeah, that was my first Xbox on my collection. Then I bought another Xbox a few years later. It was Xbox 360 Elite, then Xbox One, and then I realized that I have few consoles with part of the games, and I started thinking that maybe it's a good idea to start collecting them. So in that moment, my collection drastically started growing with the current number of devices which is present behind on me. And actually, this is the first time when almost all of my collection is in one places, in GOG office. I think this is the great place to present it first time. I think the most important thing on getting collection is not hunting by hunting. You know, this is of course it's emotions, because you are getting new devices to your collection. But from my perspective, more interesting is to know people which already had those devices. Like for example, I had one device on my collection. It's a Xbox One S Gwent edition. I was waiting for it 2 years because I wrote directly to the owner of this console, and he didn't want to sell me that for 2 years. So I pinged him every quarter, hey guy, I am ready, please sell me it, please, I'm begging you, and he didn't want to. So finally I forgot about this console at all, and after 2 years he wrote to me that he's ready to sell it to me. And this is, I think, the most valuable part of collecting things, because I am learning new things, I am knowing new people, I am knowing their history, how they acquired this Xbox or another thing from my collection. And this is the most interesting part. My dream was to have on my collection one special Xbox. It was the prototype of the first Xbox. You know, the big X made from aluminum, which was presented on the CAS 2000.
We knew we needed to show something beautiful.
People got to be able to tell in an instinct that this thing is called Xbox.
What we ended up building was a 40-pound machined aluminum X that had been buffed to a chrome finish.
These big, beautiful, shiny chrome X's, they were like these incredible sports cars.
We ended up taking literally a solid hunk of aluminum and carved it with a 6-axis CNC machine. That box took 2 weeks to carve and 1 week to polish.
Building those metal X's was very trying.
Drew and I just, after work, get a can of kerosene, get a rag, and just keep buffing it. Rub, rub, rub until that thing was polished.
Somebody brought it out into a meeting and took a towel off of it and showed it to us, and I was like, that can't be in people's living rooms. Everyone's like, calm down, it's a concept.
It's impossible to receive it because only 3 were made by Microsoft and 1 is still on the public museum on Redmond or somewhere like that. So I decided to build it by my own. And it was a quite funny, stressful, all mixed of emotions at that time because it took me more than 2 years to create. And yeah, it's present here and it's working. And obviously it's not made one-to-one. We've made some changes. Why I'm saying we? Because I didn't build it by my own. There was totally 10 people involved to this project because it was taking time-consuming, money-consuming, and a lot of networking. I asked Microsoft for providing me the dimensions of the original Xboxes, and they provide me. So thanks a lot to Microsoft for that. And the first guy who believed on this project was Kacper Zomber from Polish game development Flying Wild Hog. He created the model of this Xbox on 3D, so later I printed this Xbox. So I have a prototype from prototype. I had a printed Xboxes, and the biggest problem was how to create the green eye. And I had a huge troubles how to create it. There was a different paths and all of those paths was wrong. And someday I changing the lamp on my car and realized that that part of this lamp has exactly shape which I need. So, but the dimensions was wrong. It was smaller than I need. So I added myself to a lot of Facebook groups with the cars and so on and start asking, hey guys, I need glass eye, but with the proper dimensions. And someone replied to me that, hey, you need to buy a lamp from Mercedes, W2012, something like that, and you will get what you need. So here is the Mercedes. And the last part to put inside whole electronic to start working, to be able to play on this Xbox was made by my good friend Dexter from the Artidex studio. He put final shape and final parts of this Xbox. Whole Xbox has been made by Chrome, but originally was made from 1 block of aluminum. I consider it also this way, but creating Xbox prototype by 1 block aluminum was cost around 7,000 euro in Poland. So, crazy amount of money. So yeah, we decided to make cheaper version, but also we made one changes. besides of the original one, because our green eye is the power button. But I really believe that Microsoft would also add the power button if they will have more time this year, that year. So yeah, finally it took 2 years to create it, but it's working. The heart of this Xbox is the Series S, the smallest Xbox made ever. So it's backward compatibility. We can play the original games from the original Xboxes. We can play the games from the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and the current games, and even future games because of the Xbox Cloud Gaming. So it's a fully functional Xboxes, which looks like the original one. And I am quite proud of it. And once again, thank you a lot of people who helped me to achieve it. Let me show you the most interesting, most expensive and most rare Xboxes in my collection. And I will start from the Titanfall. It looks like regular one, but there is a few differences. First of all, you need to check that the colors and the whole part of this Xbox is unique, and it's made only for Titanfall. Obviously, most of the players could acquire exactly same shape for their own consoles, but this one is made by factory, and it's integrated with the console. I will show you only the boxes because I never opened it. This box. There is still original stickers, so I never opened it, this one, and I really hope the Xbox is inside. And another interesting fact is every piece of this Xbox has their own sticker on this part of the Xbox with the name from the employee who made the Titanfall, because this Xbox was made only in 150 pieces, only for the Respawn Entertainment employees, and it was a gift after the launch of the game. Second Xbox is not mine Xbox, it's my daughter Xbox. It's a Series S. It's, the regular one, white one, but it's I have an autograph from the creators of Stalker 2. So this is very important for us and important for my daughter. Third one is really interesting because it's wooden, and it's a Sea of Thieves edition. So yeah, the top cover and the front cover is wooden. And only 10 pieces were made, and it's only for the Benelux country. And someone contacted me a few years ago that, hey, I know a guy who has something interesting, maybe you will be interested as well. And yeah, it took me 2 weeks to receive it, but yeah, it's great. Next one is even more interesting because it's fully made out of wood, and it's a Gwent edition. And it's interesting because he has inside the box for the controllers. So yeah, as you can see, there is a place for 2 controllers and 3D logo, and it's quite unique. And I hunting it, as I said before, almost 2 years to receive it. This is one of the most interesting Xboxes on my collection. The next one is the newest item on my collection, the Elder Scrolls Online edition. This is the Series S as well. And only 16 were made around the world. One was present in Poland for the online competitor during the QuakeCon after Bethesda were acquired by Microsoft. So yeah, this is the newest one. One of the most rare Xbox, and for sure the biggest Xbox in my console, is Fallout 76 edition. That one. It was made for Polish game launch Fallout 66 in Poland. It was made by Bethesda Poland for Polish players, for Polish events and so on. And I received it directly from Bethesda, so thank you so much for that. And yeah, this is huge and it's working. This is Xbox One X inside with the Blu-ray drive. and it's working, and it looks amazing, like directly from the game. I have an account on GOG, I think, almost from beginning, when GOG was started, and it's even called as Good Old Games before GOG. And why I create the account? Because, to be honest, I believe that games are something bigger than just getting fun. Games are part of art and part of our culture.
Got to give and you're not gonna let them take your will to live, because they've taken enough and you've given them all you can give, and luck won't save them tonight.
A philosopher once said, "It is no nation we carry, but a language." Make no mistake, our native tongue is our true fatherland.
Storms you've been chasing, about to rain down tonight, and all the pain you've been facing, about to come into the light.
They are not telling only the story, they are also showing the art, the music. They combine everything of it. And also for me personally, the people behind of the game is also very important, because I personally love the story behind the game, why it was made, how it was made, who was involved with the game. My first game, which I remember when I was 3 years old, was Grand Prix Circuit, which was made by Don Matrick, who was the boss of the Xbox One. You know, probably you remember him for the biggest TV meeting on E3.
TV experience. TV and movies. TV. Xbox. Watch TV. TV.
So yeah, it was the same guy. So you know, those people are changing and evaluate with the games, with the whole game industry. And this is a really interesting part. And GOG is the great place for keeping the history. I acquired a lot of games from there, like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, one of the biggest franchise of the Heroes, one of the most important game ever in game industry. I would like to see much more games like Dark Colony, which is still not present, but I vote on the list to the prevention program. So I hope it will be there soon or later. I am not playing only on Xboxes. I'm playing also on GOG, on also the different platform. So the archive of games is very important for me, and because it's keeping the story, our story, not only games, but also our story. My life is presented on those games. I can easily turn on really old game and show my daughter, hey, let's see what I played when I was on your age. I think this is beautiful. And I really like and finger crossed for whole program that it will be expanded soon for more titles. If you would like to know me a little bit more or simply contact with me, you can visit my website xboxmuseum.pl and learn more about the prototype or rest of the consoles from my collection, or even games, also the history behind of those games. I hope we will see you soon there. Thank you.